Hello fellow woodworkers and welcome to the latest video in the maintenance series on the Garage Workshop. This week we're going to be trying to fix my knackered out front gate. Roll the intro. Okay, so this front gate is one of the first things I ever made out of wood. I made it way before I had my YouTube channel. I made it about 2 years ago, and I made it from some instructions that I just found on YouTube, and it's worked pretty well for most of the year. But now there are two things that are causing an issue. Number one, the gate won't shut. Number two, it's dropped on its hinges, so it's not level and it won't close. Now, the reason why it won't close is quite simple. We've had quite a lot of rain, even though it's very nice and sunny today. We've had quite a lot of rain recently, and I think the rain has got into the wood and expanded it. Now, it's just normal stud timber with a sort of outside exterior coat of just normal outdoor paint, you know, fence paint. When we have a lot of rain in a certain amount of time, it tends to swell and it stops it closing. But it's not helped by the fact that when I put this together, I used two quite massive coach screws. I'll give you a close-up of those. And those coach screws, when it expands, stops it catching. And you can see from the wood that's here, it's been catching on the clasp on this side. Now, the first obvious logical thing to do is to remove the bulb clasp, but that isn't going to do it on its own because it's also slightly fallen, and as you can see, there's quite a lot of play up and down in the gate. It's also not properly fixed on this side. So the plan is to take it off, reposition the hinges, take out the clip on this side, the bolt hole on this side, and completely redo the gate. And let's see if we can make this gate work without having to make a new one. Let's start it now. So there are a number of issues with this gate which I'm going to try and address rather than make a new gate. The first one is the gap down this side. Now, down this side there was no gap at all when I first put the gate in, but I can see now daylight completely between the slats and the actual upright. There's a good 6 or 7 mil gap at the top there, and all the way down, even between these two bits of wood that are joining, there's at least a 3 or 4 mil gap. Now, that wasn't on there when the gate was obviously first built. So what's happened is the wood's got in, the wood's expanded, the water's got in, the wood's expanded. You can see there's a massive split all the way down this piece of wood now, and it's made the gate wider in essence. So there's two ways I can correct that. The first one is I've got a lot of space this side. You can see there's way too much space on this side. So I can take the hinges off, move the entire gate this way. The problem is I haven't got as much down the bottom as I have down the top, because obviously the gate is not lying completely flat, it's on an angle. So what I'm going to need to do is take the gate off the hinges and resit it that side, pull it back up so it's a level, accounting for the fact I've now got this gap, and then I can redo the furniture on the bolt, and let's see if that works. So apologies for the sound. I'm sure this is going to come out as being quite windy, but you can see there how out of line it is. Although it's not massively out, as in, you know, it's not that way. That was absolutely perfectly lined up when I put the gate in. And if I lift it up roughly to how it's dropped before, you can see so it's pretty clear those screws have had it. Very rusty, despite the fact they are proper outdoor like decking screws. They're galvanized, so I don't think they should have rusted as much as they have, so I will replace those. I'm going to leave the hinges on the side exactly as they are, and just want to tie it in, straighten them up there, because I don't want to start taking these off, because when I put them in I had a lot of trouble getting them in. So I don't think I should need to. I think I just need to raise the gate up, potentially reseat it a little bit, and then it should give me enough clearance that I need on this side. Okay, so not massively successful with the recycling. I've taken the hinges off and I bought a new set of hinges, because the hinges that were on the door before were far too big and far too bulky. But my only concern is I'm not sure that these new hinges will fit the actual post. So let's take them out and off them up and see if they're going to work. I think they might be a bit too wide myself, but let's have a look. Okay, so I'm very pleased to say they're actually a perfect fit and are pushed right up against the post there, and with them up against the post, the rail is very, very, very uneven. So they are going to need to be on quite a different angle, I think, to get that. I want to get this. I know it's not designed to be straight, but I want to get it as straight as I can, really. So let's go ahead and fix this to the wall, to the post now, and take it from there. Okay, so that's the first bracket on. I know this might look a bit of an odd way of doing this, and it probably is an odd way of doing it, but I've got the bracket on now, and the gate is perfectly level. I've just wedged a stone underneath the gate on this side, just to get it the right size to sort of level it up. So what I'm going to do now is put the bottom hinge on, and then I can work on the left hand side of the gate, because I'm going to have to make a bit of an alteration, I think, to get the bolt in. So let me get that hinge on and we'll do that now. Okay, so hopefully you can see that that is level, or it's pretty good. It's almost perfectly level. And if I put it at the side here, not so easy to see that one, but it is perfectly level in the middle. So the gate is level on both sides. Let's take a look at the other side of the gate though to see what's going on there. So this piece of wood which I've got, which is a rough sawn exterior piece of wood, I'm just going to put on here and mark it up. I've got a bit of a cutout at the end, but luckily I don't need it all anyway. I only sort of need a bit of it really. So I'm just going to offer it up and then mark it out. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is take this away to the table saw, cut the strip off, and then come back and pre-drill the holes and then attach it. The bolt that I've got a bolt that's got like a bracket on the end, but because the door's not completely straight, what I think I'm going to do is actually drill a hole in that piece of wood to put the bolt in rather than using the bracket, because if I put the bracket in it's going to be on a slight angle and that's not going to fit very well. I could raise this away from the side, but I'm then getting into very tricky things. It might just be easier to drill the hole out and use that for putting the bolt into. So let's go and have a look. Okay, so the gate's finished. As you saw, I installed the piece of wood which stops the gate going out. I put the bolt on the end. I decided not to drill it in the end because I actually found an angle where it was almost completely flat, which is fantastic. So the gate will probably last another few years now, I hope. I know there is a bigger gap down the side here, but obviously with that piece of wood in the back, that's negated a lot of that. The only thing I haven't done is painted the wood because I actually haven't got any of this grey wood. I need to go and get some. So thank you very much for watching this week's edition of the Garage Workshop Maintenance. If this is your first time at the Garage Workshop, please can I ask you to subscribe, like and comment. I've got loads of videos in my back catalogue, so please go and have a look. If you're a regular subscriber, thank you so much for your views and continued support. Also, please don't forget to like and comment. I'll see you on next week's project, fellow woodworkers. Bye bye.